learners, welcome to our session today. I am your instructor, CPA Ringo Frederick. In our class today, it is a continuation of what you were doing earlier on. Recall in the previous class, we had introduced the concept of cost accumulation. And on this, one of the main items we mentioned, it will be upon us to understand how to account for materials. So the previous class, we had looked at our valuation of materials, where we talked of the concepts to do with FIFO, LIFO, and weighted average. So in our class today, my good students, I want us to handle a concept to do with inventory levels, or rather stock levels. You'll find that this is a very key concept that we must always tend to have for us to say that we have summarized almost the whole concept to do with aspect of accounting for inventory. So you'll find that at this point, there are some levels of inventory that organization should or will always tend to maintain. So these are the inventory levels that I want us to discuss in our class today. The inventory levels that organization should or will maintain at any given point in time in their operations. So we normally tend to talk of the following inventory levels: 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally we can talk of the one that at least you're going to study, which I know probably is new to actually most of us, right? So these are the levels. Number 1, we normally tend to talk about reorder level. I'll be explaining each one of them. We'll be talking of reorder level. Number 2, we'll be talking of a maximum stock level. Maximum stock level. We'll be talking of a minimum stock level. Minimum stock level. We'll also be talking of the average stock level. Average stock level. And finally, my good students, here we'll be talking of this stock level that I know majority of us, we don't have an idea of, the danger level. Danger level. I know majority of you don't have an idea of that, if such a stock level exists. The good thing is that we are in this class and we are going to learn what danger level also entails. So these are the 5 main stock levels that I will be studying, and therefore we are going to start with the first one, analyze it keenly, and after we've analyzed the first stock level, I believe we'll be able to understand it very, very clearly. So therefore, let us jump to the first stock level and see what this entails. So I'm going to raise here. We start with number 1. That should be reorder level. We start with reorder level. So therefore, we are going to start with number 1, reorder level. Reorder level. So anytime we are talking of reorder level, my good students, what should come at the back of my mind is that the level of inventory that when once reached, an order has to be placed from the suppliers. This is to say that, say for example, as a company, we have a policy whereby we say that I'll be maintaining our stock levels in that the moment, say, I've reached, say, like 20,000 units. The moment I've reached 20,000 units, I need to make an order from our suppliers. So that will be kind of an alert. And also this one is also much applicable to the accounting system, more so for QuickBook. QuickBook, I'm not advertising QuickBooks, right? For QuickBooks, basically, you'll find that I'll be having a point whenever I'm creating my inventory, whenever we are creating our inventory, you'll find that the inventory part, you'll find that, say I'm creating an item of, say, TV set. You'll find that I'll be having an area whereby we will be required to set our reorder level, so that when once that level has reached, I'll be alerted with the system to make an order, So anytime you're talking of reorder level, basically you're looking at a level that when once reached, an order has to be placed from the suppliers. That is very key to note. That is very key to note. So here you are saying that this is a level of inventory, that when once reached, this is a level of inventory, that when once reached, when once reached, an order has to be placed from the suppliers. An order has to be placed from the suppliers. So that is what you are terming it as a aspect of inventory level. You're saying that, or rather reorder level, that level of inventory that when once reached, an order has to be placed from the supplier. Very key to note and understand, my good student. That is one key item. The other item that we should also be able to understand here at reorder level is this term that we normally refer to it as a lead time. We normally tend to talk of lead time many a times whenever we are looking at inventory levels. So I'll be having a concept known as lead time. So in summary, my good students will find that anytime you are talking of lead time, basically, this is just like a waiting period. A waiting period. That is the time taken, or the time between when an order has been placed and when an order is delivered in the farm. These are what you're talking of, what? Lead time. I normally tend to summarize it to the concept of a waiting time. Say, for example, maybe I've placed my order, say, on 15th January. This is when I'm placing an order. This is when I'm placing an order. This is when you are placing order. Then, in this case, I am receiving this inventory, say, on 20th January. So, this waiting period between when I'm placing an order and when we are receiving an order is what we are terming it as lead time. So, in summary, we are just looking at it as what? As a waiting period between when an order has been placed and when an order is being received. That is what you're terming it as what? As a lead time. As simple as that. As simple as that. So that's our lead time. Okay? Waiting period between when we are placing an order and when that order is being received. So that is a lead time. Very key concept, my good student, that you must also be able to understand anytime you're handling inventory levels. Then the other key element here that again is also very vital is what we normally refer to it as a ROQ. ROQ. This is basically reorder quantity. This is basically reorder quantity. So it will be very important for us to understand what ROQ is, reorder quantity. At this point, my good students, anytime you are talking of reorder quantity, basically, we are looking at a quantity that is ordered anytime an order is given from the supplier, or rather to the supplier. So if at all I'm making an order, and I'm making an order of, say, like 10,000 units. I'm making an order, and we are making an order of 10,000 units. So this 10,000 units is what you are referring to it as reorder quantity. Anytime I'll be placing my order, I'll be placing an order of how many units. So the number of units that you are placing an order is what you are referring to as reorder quantity. That is what you are referring to as reorder quantity. It will be very vital for us to understand that this is just a quantity that we are ordering. Anytime I'm making an order, this is a quantity that you are placing for order. That is what you are referring to as reorder quantity. Sorry. Now, once we have those items at the back of our mind, my good students, there's a very key element again that we must be able to grasp and understand. In the event that you are required to compute or to determine your reorder level, how will you go about it? So this is how we can determine our reorder level. In the event that I'm asked to compute our reorder level, simply our reorder level will be determined by taking our maximum consumption slash demand. These are maximum consumption slash demand. We are going to multiply that one by what? Our lead time. At times also referred to as reorder time. So that is what will give us what you normally refer to as what? As reorder level. Then again, this is what you must be able to understand. In the event that probably the company has what you normally refer to as a safety stock. Basically, safety stock is what you are going to maintain to avoid any aspect of shortages. So in the event that the company is maintaining an aspect of safety stock, this is how we are supposed to determine our reorder level. In the event that the company is maintaining a safety stock, our reorder level we are going to determine by taking our maximum consumption here times, of course, our lead time. What you are going to incorporate here, my good student, is what? Is the safety stock that the company is maintaining. Safety stock. So this is in the event that the company is maintaining what you normally refer to as safety stock. And basically, that's the concept of reorder level that you need to understand anytime we are to look at our reorder level. Now, one of the most important concept that again is very important here, you might be asked probably what the factors that we normally consider in setting our reorder level. Factors to consider while setting our reorder level. That's an assignment that I want you guys to go and do for me. Factors to consider factors to consider when maintaining our reorder level. Very important, very important, very important. Now, that was our first stock level that we've just analyzed. So let's look at stock level number 2. And in this case, I want us to look at what we normally refer to as maximum stock level. I want us to talk about number 2. This was a number 1. Number 2, talk about maximum stock level. Maximum stock level being our number 2. Maximum stock level is what I'll want us to analyze and see what this entails. So, what is maximum stock level? Just as the word suggests, maximum. We are looking at maximum. We are looking at maximum. So, basically, you'll find that maximum stock level is simply the quantity of inventory which a firm should not exceed. Or rather, the quantity, or rather the level of inventory which the firm should not exceed while maintaining its inventory. Of which, beyond that, you'll find that the company will be doing what? The company will be overstocking. The company will be maintaining more than what they require, which is simply a cost to the organization. So in a very simple term, anytime you're talking of a maximum stock level, my good students, basically, we are looking at the level of inventory which the firm should not exceed. The level of inventory which the firm should not exceed. So, beyond that level, the firm will be overstocking. These are what you're referring to as what? A maximum stock level. So say for example, like we've set a level whereby the firm is to maintain, say like 50,000 units. In the event that I'm surpassing this mark, the firm is overstocking, which as at the end of the day, it might kind of either be expensive in the long run, or we might be having a risk of some items to become obsolete or some items to spoil because of poor storage. We don't have enough capacity to maintain these units. So therefore, that's why we are talking of what? the aspect of maximum stock level. That's why we are talking of maximum stock level. Now, understanding a maximum stock level, it will be very key for us to ask ourselves this question: how will we determine our maximum stock level, which we are referring to as maximum? Let me use maximum, max SL, maximum stock level. Allow me to use M, max SL. So to determine our maximum stock level, you'll find, my good students, once we had looked at the reorder level, this one will be easy because I'll be taking our reorder level here. I'm going to add our reorder quantity. Remember what Mwalimu had talked about reorder quantity, right? Then in this case, we are going to deduct, my good students, we are going, of course, to deduct here what we normally refer to as the aspect to do with normal, or rather aspect of minimum consumption minus, I want to see how it will fit, minimum demand or consumption times minimum lead time times minimum lead time times minimum lead time. So basically that is how we are supposed to determine, our maximum stock level. Simply here, we are talking of our reorder level plus our reorder quantity with less the minimum consumption or demand times minimum lead time times minimum lead time. That is what will give us what we are referring to as maximum stock level. That is what will give us what we are referring to as maximum stock level. Very key to understand. Now, after that case, my good students, also one important question that I should ask myself is factors to consider while maintaining maximum stock level. At this point, there are so many factors. Probably at this point, Mwalimu will assist us on some 2 or 3 points, right? But majority of the points I know you'll be having them. Just ask yourself that for me to determine which level of inventory I should maintain, what are the factors that we should always kind of adhere to? There's aspect of storage, right? Availability of space, that is very important. Because if I'm having a small store, of course, I won't maintain a lot of inventory. But if I'm having a large store, I'm going to maintain a lot of inventory as much as I can. So you'll find that availability of storage space, that one is one factor that you can always tend to talk about. Also, the other case, you can also talk about maybe the cost of maintaining the stores, right? Other than availability, what about that cost? Do we have enough resources to maintain the stores that we'll be having? That is also one key element. The other factor, maybe you can talk of aspect of consumption. Excuse me. Of course, if my demand is so high, or rather consumption is so high, I'll always tend to maintain higher stock levels compared to if our demand is somehow kind of not high, or rather when our demand is low. So among other factors, those are some of that is just an angle of which you can clearly determine and define what we should consider while maintaining this inventory, while maintaining the inventory. Now, after we have looked at that, that should take us to number 3 item, which we are referring to it as a minimum. Talk of a minimum, minimum stock level, minimum stock level, minimum stock level, minimum stock level. So you'll find that basically minimum is the opposite of maximum stock level. And anytime you're talking of minimum stock level, basically we are looking at the level of inventory that the farm should not go below. The level of inventory that the farm should not go below. Basically, it represents the quantity which must be maintained in hand at all times. So if at all you are to talk of the aspect of inventory that I should be having, if I go to my store, I should be having that level, the minimum. Talk of the level of inventory that the farm should be maintaining at all times, so that you'll find that below that level, the farm will be risking shortages. The farm will be risking shortages. So these are what we are referring to as a minimum stock level. The question would be, in the event that you are asked to determine our minimum stock level, how will you go about it? Allow me to use min SL, indicating that we're talking of minimum stock level. So to do that, you'll find that is a very simple concept that you can always tend to grasp. And this is how we can work it out, my good students. To determine the minimum stock level, simply, we normally tend to talk of the reorder, the reorder level. That is our reorder level, my good students. We deduct, of course, our normal or average consumption. That is a normal slash average consumption, or demand. We multiply this one by normal slash average lead time, That is how we can determine our minimum stock level. That is a normal slash average consumption or demand times normal slash average lead time. That is very key to note. I know at this point a person will ask, Mwalimu, how will we determine our reorder, or rather how will we determine our normal or average consumption if not given? To determine our normal consumption, my good students, slash demand if not given, this will be easy. I'll just be taking our maximum consumption. Plus minimum consumption, we divide by 2. That will give us what you are terming it as what? Normal consumption. What about normal lead time? To determine our normal lead time, again, you'll find that this will be easy, because I'll just be taking our maximum lead time, we add our maximum, or rather we add our minimum lead time. Talk of maximum lead time plus minimum lead time plus minimum lead time, we divide by 2. That will give us what we are referring to as what? Our normal or aspect of average lead time. As simple as that, by the way. As simple as that. So that was our level of inventory number 3, which we have termed it as what? Minimum stock level, which we have termed it as minimum stock level. Now, I believe we have a green light to proceed and look at the other level of inventory, which in this case, that should take us to the other number here. That is number 4. Talk of number 4. I'll want us to talk of number 4, which in this case we are going to refer to this as what? The average stock level. And by the way, before we also look at average stock level again, I want you guys to analyze the factors that you think you might consider while setting the minimum stock level. That one is also very vital to consider here. So after that, looking at average stock level. This is also a simple concept, because I just want to determine the average of inventory that I'll be having in my farm at any given point in time. This will be simple because Once we have determined our maximum stock level, once you have determined our maximum stock level, I'll always add it to our minimum stock level. I'll always add that to our minimum stock level. I'll add that to our minimum stock level. I'll add that to our minimum stock level. Minimum stock level. Then of course we divide by 2. That will give us what we are referring to as average stock level. That will give us what we are referring to as average stock level. Now, the most interesting part here, which I know all of us we are interested to know, is what we normally term it as the danger stock level, right? Danger stock level, danger stock level, danger stock level, danger stock level. Almost the same concept as the minimum stock level. So we are talking of danger stock level. Talk about danger stock level. So looking at danger stock level, basically we are looking at the level of inventory which should not fall in any case. Is the level below which stocks should not fall in any case. If the danger level approaches, then immediate steps should be taken to replenish the stocks, even if more cost is incurred in arranging the materials. So basically we are looking at it simply as the level below which stock should not fall in any case. And to determine our danger level, in the event that I'm requested to determine our danger level, this is how we are going to work it out. We are going to take our average consumption. We take our average consumption or demand, average consumption / demand. We multiply by our maximum reorder period. Maximum reorder period. Maximum reorder period is the same as what? Maximum lead time. Maximum lead time. Maximum lead time. Maximum lead time. Maximum lead time for emergency purchases. For emergency purchases. I know that is new to many of us. The good thing is that we normally tend to say that every day is a learning day, right? So basically this is how we can determine our danger stock level. And simply, that is a summary actually of almost everything that we will be required to know when it comes to stock levels, So to summarize this concept clearly, I want us to consider an illustration question from our past paper. This question was tested in April 2022. This question, my good students, was tested in April 2022. April 2022, question number 2. April 2022, question number 2B. April 2022, question number 2B. And basically this is a question I'm having here. This question of ours. Mwalimu is just sharing it with us right now. That is a question. April 2022, question number 2B. Believing that we are able to see that question. So we can go through that question together and see what it entails, and see what that question entails, so that you can be able to handle it at any given point I'm having the same. So these are what you're told, that the following data relates to a particular stock item. Let me enlarge it. We're told that the following data relates to a particular stock item of Magala Limited. The company's management is in the process of setting its stock levels as a way to address the escalating stock handling cost. So the data given there, I'm having the following information is provided. where I'm told we have the normal usage per day, we have the minimum usage per day, we have maximum usage per day. I'm also having the lead time. I'm also having the lead time given. Lead time I'm given 25 to 30 days. Then we do have the economic order quantity. Previously calculated, we were given 50,000 units. Required here, we are told that we need to compute the following. That is the reorder level, maximum stock level, minimum stock level, as well as the average stock level. Clearly, I know, surely, my good students, even if you're given such a question and after we have looked at the whole of this concept, we can easily do that question, I believe. So we start with the first one so that you'll say mwalimu to do his job, right? So let us start working it out, maximum stock level, or rather reorder level. We are told to compute our reorder level. So therefore, we are going to start working it out. Let us compute our reorder level. By now, I know we have the formula to work it out. By now, I know we have the formula to work it out. So therefore, let us work it out. Let us work it out right now.